Hello, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman, bringing you organized chaos. And we're in for a treat today, people, since this is a rarity episode. And rarity episodes definitely stand out among other traditional episodes of MLP. Ranging from dealing with sister problems, to picky customers, even going as far as kidnapping. So, I wonder what kind of issues she's going to tackle today. Let's see, it's Bad Hair Day? Oh god. This is going to be a prissy girl episode. So without a further ado, this is It Isn't the Main Thing About You. The episode begins with the three flower mares getting overwhelmed at work, not knowing what to do with so many customers and doing their usual panic routine. But before they hit the ground, Rarity I just assume materialized out of nowhere in order to give them fashion advice by matching color flowers to manes. Seriously, she just materialized their Star Trek style. I mean, did you see the afterglow? Go ahead, watch it again. Well, as it turns out, Rarity's trying to buy flowers in order to make the perfect photo shoot for a upcoming magazine event where Photo Finish is going to take pictures of prettiest maidens in Equestria, which I'm assuming Rarity's a given. Look, I'm not a good judge on hair care, so I don't know if Rarity's mane is pretty or not. I mean, have you seen my fur? It's not exactly in the most beautiful condition. In fact, Rarity makes a day of it, going from business to business and helping them out while simultaneously sneaking in a very special order for each one. From giant fans to custom-made couches, she is getting prepared for everything for Photo Finish. Right up to Pinkie Pie. Oh, Pinkie, how can you destroy everything this time? You destroyed Fluttershy's confidence in one episode, and made other ponies feel uneasy in others. Even going so far as to make a recluse never leave his house after you kept harassing him. So tell me, what's your solution for destroying the plot this time? Well, clearly super sticky silly string into Rarity's hair to the point where it acts more like glue and gum in the hair than it does actual silly string should definitely work. Oh, Pinkie, whenever you screw up, you always do it so fashionably well. It's like the equivalent of the Holocaust multiplied by puppies with cancer. That joke got pretty dark. What do you expect? I have to do something to balance out the Pinkie. Well, when it turns out that Pinkie and Rarity can't get the silly string removed, they decide to take a visit to Sakura in order to get a potion to help them both out. Because, you know, Sakura has nothing better to do with her time than make a shampoo and a stain remover. You know, the funny thing is, I can't even tell if I'm joking or not. I don't know exactly what Sakura does with her free time. Well, they finally make it to Sakura's, where she makes both of them an individual potion to help with their specific needs. But she doesn't bother labeling the potion, so Rarity ends up grabbing the wrong one. And Pinkie grabs what was supposed to be for Rarity. So, naturally, this progresses the plot. Now, normally I would say this at the end, but I'm just going to say this right now. You want to know what the easiest way to fix Rarity's mane at this point is? A wig. Seriously, just invest in a fucking wig. I mean, I'm sure they make them. Well, she tries going back to Sakura in order to find a cure, but Sakura turns her down, saying that hair grow potion is very tricky business, and that it would take much longer than what Rarity has to make one. So Rarity has to live her new life with bad hair for a while. I still don't understand the really big deal. Seriously, Rarity, just invest in a wig and wait for your hair to grow back. Just fake it.
You're so insensitive.
Leslie, what are you doing here?
I haven't been in a show in a while, but that's beside the point. She can't just fake it because this is an important event.
Well, I still don't understand why she can't just put on a wig.
Because this is a photo shoot for proper hair care. You couldn't understand, you're a man.
Well, I still don't understand. After all, music artists fake it all the time. Well, since Sakura can't help her at the moment, Rarity decides to take a feather out of Fluttershy's book and becomes so timid and so unassertive that everybody walks right over her. Sometimes physically, sometimes emotionally. So, I'm guessing that this show's leading up to loss of hair destroys her confidence, and she can't figure out how to get over it. Well, she could always talk to Fluttershy. Or, a hairdresser. Salvage what you can, and if not, fake it.
I already told you she can't.
Why not?
Well, it's the equivalent of cheating on a test. You can't just put on a wig and fake the photo shoot.
I'm not even talking about the photo shoot at this point. I'm just talking about just walking around town. Well, with no other place to turn, she decides to finally go to her friends for help. But unfortunately, the magic couldn't solve the problem. So each one of her friends tries their own unique method of solving the problem. Except for Pinkie Pie, who's been surprisingly absent. Of course, then again, I don't really trust Pinkie Pie with any form of hair care. Or, for that matter, you should trust me. Seriously, just get a wig! So, with all resources lost to her, she immediately retreats to a classic Rarity position of on the couch with a bucket of ice cream. But Twilight consults her, and she realizes that the problem wasn't with other ponies, the problem was with her and her confidence. So she immediately goes behind the dresser and creates punk rock Rarity. Hey, wait a minute, hold on, she didn't have that much hair before. Okay, two things wrong with this scene. One, she immediately perked up after consulting Twilight. Two, she didn't have that much hair before, and if she could solve the problem that easily, then why didn't she do that from the start?
Well, that's because she was emotional at the time. I mean, it would be the equivalent as if you lost all of your hair.
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't really start the show with that much hair. I only recently got fluffy. So, what would change?
Oh, you're such a man about it.
Seriously, I don't know what's going on! So, with Rarity's new look and her confidence restored, she immediately goes back to helping the townsfolk and their problems. Giving up on the magazine cover entirely, only for some time later, her friends surprise her by photo finish going all super ninja style, taking photos of new Rarity and puts her flat on the cover, and everybody enjoys themselves. Oh yeah, and Pinkie Pie apparently has had the vial of shampoo the whole time. Because, nobody actually thought to check up on her. And that was this episode. Whatever it was titled, I forget. And it's a weak Rarity episode, but I can't deny the moral. Being a guy, I guess I don't really know that much about it, but losing your hair isn't that much of a confidence breaker for guys.
But for girls, it's all we care about.
Okay, that statement's a little sexist, I mean, even for this show.
Says the guy who made a Holocaust joke.
Point taken. Anyway, this episode was good. It's just not up par with some of the expectations I've expected from Rarity episodes. I mean, it was just a whole episode caring about her hair and how she looks, focusing on the outer beauty than inner beauty. And coming from a guy who doesn't have outer beauty, I can definitely say that this episode particularly just wasn't for me. Maybe for you, but just not for me. Anyway, I'm the Cartoon Gentleman. I brought you organized chaos, and I'm gonna find some shampoo.